Hello everyone, it's Dr. Dennis Johnson, here once again giving you important medical advice while you eat your lunch. Today I received a letter from Patricia, who is a grossly overweight listener of mine. You have to understand, I wasn't actually seeking out this type of a person, she just happens to fit the demographic. I'm not in love with her or anything. Now, her letter reads, "Dear Dr. Dennis Johnson, I love listening to you. I'm an overweight person and I've tried everything to lose weight, but it simply hasn't worked. What do you recommend?" Signed, Susan Wilson. P.S. I am very sensitive about my fatness. That was my word. You see, I don't normally deal with subjects like this. It's just that this letter wasn't screened. Thank you very much for that, Nigel. So we'll just get right down to it. Thanks for your letter, Susan. It was very brave of you to have sent it in, considering you're so fat. You know, I find people like you interesting. Not too interesting, I'm not weird or anything. And so that's why I want to offer you a few words of wisdom to you and to all overweight people and soon to be overweight people. Information that I've learned from an infomercial. There are many people, like Susan, who think they are not valid members of society simply because they are, shall we say, physically repulsive. Well, I don't have a problem with that, but there is such a thing as going too far. Some of them stay at home and hide from the world because they think that if they were to be seen walking the streets, they might be judged by a judge. Or perhaps a rude person will call out a rude remark like fatty. And anyway, that's all I remember of the infomercial. What I'm trying to say is that, for goodness sake, Susan, live your life to the full, have fun, do what you want to do. If you ask me, it's all a simple matter of dieting and eating properly. That could work. My personal theory is that soon you will go through a stage of acceptance. Soon you will look down at your naked body, which I'm not condoning, and you will say to yourself, I am a fat, ugly cow. Which is where acceptance comes in, and as you realise there's not a thing you can do to change it, you will accept it. Or perhaps you may try to justify your situation and tell yourself, this is how God made you. Well, I'm a religious person, Susan, I prefer it if you didn't do that. But you mustn't worry, because fat people can still have rich and full-figured clothing. And if people don't like you for who you are, then, well, perhaps you are just a little bit too fat. Anyway, thanks for listening, and remember, don't believe the nonsense unless you hear it from me directly.